What is up, people? You've got the Oracle there, and we are back on MTGO for a new draft. This time, Shadows over Innistrad is finally available online, which is sweet. This is my second draft online. I've just played another one, which I will maybe upload. I think it depends on if this one is better or not. I might just upload both, so I guess we'll see. I've played the set quite a lot on Paper Magic before, during the last 2 weeks. So I'm kind of aware of what's going on, and that pack is pretty bad. I don't think Engulf the Shore is great at all. Um, Call the Bloodline is actually fine. There are some sweet combo with that. If you have Sanitarium Skeleton, it's nice. It's pretty good with Madness. Vessel is fine. Overall, that pack is pretty weak. I'm not a huge fan of what's in this pack. I think I will go with Call the Bloodline, which is not the most exciting first pick, but again, as I mentioned, there are some sweet interaction with that card, and I kind of want to try the black-red Vampire Madness deck, so maybe it could be a good thing to start off with. This pack is slightly better. I think at least you have two very solid cards to pick up in Kindly Stranger. A very solid Delirium card, very good reason to get Delirium, and actually Cole can help you get Delirium, so it's a fine interaction. And Inner Struggle, which is a solid removal. There are a decent amount of things that this cannot kill, but it's still pretty solid. Ongoing Investigation is quite sweet, but I don't think I want to pick that after Call of the Bloodline. If this was the green enchantment that lets you have a soldier one each time you sacrifice a clue, I could jump into that, because the green enchantment is just amazing, but I don't think I will go for Ongoing Investigation right away. Revenant is fine, probably slightly worse than Stranger. And the best card is probably Rabbit Bite though, which is just an amazing removal. But I think I'll go with the Stranger. It's in my color, it's pretty solid. It's probably around the same power level than Rabbit Bite. Maybe slightly worse, but quite similar. Might just pick Rabbit Bite there. And play a green-black Delirium deck. That could be something. None of the black cards are great. Like, this is pretty weak. This is extremely bad. I think the best cards are Just the Wind, Spectral Shepherd, and clearly Rabbit Bite, which is just the best card of the pack. And then you have Emissary, which is fine, but slightly worse than those three. And fixing is good if you need that. Confront is pretty good. I've been really happy with this streak, both in sealed and draft. But again, Rabbit Bite is just a very solid removal spell. So I don't think there's any reason to pick anything over that. I'm not extremely happy to pick that third pick after passing another one, pick 2, but I think Kindly Stranger was just a better pick at this time. Alright, Ghoul Color Apprentice, pretty solid black card. It also kind of works well with Call of the Bloodline to some extent. It's not the best combo of all time, but it's not bad. Vessel is actually very solid if you are trying to get the Delirium, so I might just pick that. Orchard would be a fine wheel, but I don't think I will pick it. Weirding Wood is probably it's fine, but I think it might just be a slightly worse fixer than full Orchard, unless you want a third color. Vessel of Ephemera is pretty solid. Yeah, I think the pick is definitely between the Vessel of Nascenti and the Ghoul Color Accomplice. And given that I have a Kindly Stranger, I think this really makes me want to pick the Vessel of Nascenti. That thing is like extremely good at enabling Delirium, so I think I'll go with that, and we'll try to build the green-black Delirium deck and see how it goes. That's fairly late Inner Struggle and a fairly late Reaper of Light Moonsilver, two very solid uncommon. Not really in those colors though. Thornhide Wolves have been fairly decent for me. Skeleton Key is fine. It's better in a Madness deck than in the Delirium deck, but it's better than it looks like. Revenant is fine. It's probably slightly better than Wolves, I think. I think I might just go with that. Wicked Witch is obviously pretty good at enabling Delirium, but I think I'd rather have more solid creatures in general. And yeah, I've been happy with Farbog Revenant, so I'll go with that. Behold the Beyond is not bad. Not bad at all. It's a lot of mana, but if you can get there, you are probably hellbent anyway, and this will probably win you the game. I mean, you need a specific deck and a deck that's pretty slow, but it's quite solid. I will not pick that. I think there are much better pick. There are still a bunch of good things here. Humble the Brute and Reduce to Ashes are 5 mana removal, but you know they can pretty much deal with. I guess this cannot deal with small things, but they can deal with big things, which is important. Vessel is also solid. I think I will go with Gargoyle, which again is an easy way to have you Delirium, but also a solid card on its own. As the Wicker Witch is only good because of Delirium, but not really good otherwise. And I think I don't mind picking another Gargoyle. I found out that the set is more aggressive than I expected it to be, especially in draft, so having early blockers is pretty nice, and this is very solid in the late game, so I like that quite a lot. Qatar is not that great if you don't have white, obviously, might be on reason, not amazing, and yeah, Gargoyle is a very solid pick here, I think. And here I will go with Landscape. Again, it's a way to get your Delirium, it fixes, it's just quite good. Apparatus is also a way to get Delirium, but given the 2 Gargoyle, I don't think I will have to play that. Again, if I don't have any artifact, I might play this or the Wicker Witch to try to help Delirium, but when I have just solid artifact creatures, I'd rather play them over weaker cards, and Landscape is quite solid in general. This card has impressed me quite a lot, actually. I don't like equipment too much in general, but this has been really good for my opponent. I haven't played it with it yet, but I might just try it out there. You have a few green humans, most werewolf. I mean, all werewolves are actually human before they flip. Stranger is a human, and even on a non-human creature, it's pretty good. So I think I like that. Given that we are pretty much set up for a good Delirium deck, Scavengers should be quite solid. I don't think I will play anything here. I guess J Scrutiny is the more annoying and playable card. Weirding Wood is playable. It's also an enchantment, which I guess is decent for Delirium. And that's alright. Behold the Beyond is actually, as I mentioned, pretty playable, and it's also a good sideboard option against slower deck. But I like the start a lot. Between the Vessel, my artifact, my enchantment, I really have a good base to play Delirium, and then I have 2 very solid removal and 2 very good Delirium cards. Like the Scavenger might not look great, but when it's in the right deck and easily enabled, it's like it is just amazing. Coal doesn't look too great in this deck, but it's fine. I guess it'd be what it be. We might end up leaving it in the sideboard depending on what I get. If I get a Sanitarium Skeleton, this could be good because it basically gives you, if you have both cards, you pay 4 mana and put a 1/1 lifelink onto the battlefield, which is pretty solid. That pack is awful. Second Harvest, pretty bad. Aim High is not great. I mean, I would have been fine picking the Confront the Unknown, the +6/+6 for each clue when you investigate, but Aim High is fairly bad. Mutation is probably slightly better. Bloodsworn is... I guess I can play that. It's not my favorite, especially when I'm not playing red, but it's probably the best option for me here. Yeah, that pack is not great for me. Best card is clearly Reaper. And other than that, everything else is quite weak. Alright. Merciless Resolve, not really what I'm trying to do. I've been really impressed with the Quilled Wolf. That thing is really solid, can often win game on the late game. Even though I have a Landscape, I don't think I will try to splash for Amalgam, especially since I will probably not reanimate match. So I think I will pass on that and just take the solid 2-drop. Yeah, and at some point I should be able to get some 5-drop, it should not really be an issue, but Wolf has really impressed me a lot. The best card here I think is the Forge Master, which is great. Both unflipped and flipped, it's just an amazing card. And yeah, Wolf is fine. Not the best, not the worst. Pretty much a very decent feeler. Alright, we have more options there. I don't think I will go with another Wolf, even though I like it. Don't think I want the 6-drop. I think it's between the Hermit and the Patrol. And I think the Patrol is slightly better. Basically a Hill Giant with an upside. Sometimes the opponent can just remove it from the game. I mean, destroy it, or just take a few damage and destroy it and you will not get too much value. But if you can just make this trade with another 3 power creature and I guess 3 toughness creature and get the clue, it's pretty good. I think it's better than the Hermit, which is fine, but probably slightly worse. Cult of the Waxing Moon is kinda good. Ooh, there's a Diregraph Colossus. And a Sinister Concoction. I think it's really solid in the Delirium deck for obvious reason. Don't have any zombie though. I mean, I really want to play the zombie deck, but I'm gonna do that another day, and I will probably be playing blue-black. Now, is the Cult or the Sinister Concoction? Which one is better? I'm unsure, honestly. It's weird, but because we get some very solid enabler quite late and some good artifact creatures, so it seems like we might be the only one playing Delirium, but we did not see any good Delirium card this pack. I think I like the Concoction slightly more than the Cult. Alright, definitely picking Scavenger there. That card is looking amazing in my deck. And yeah, I think it's a fairly easy pick. Ooh, Ghoulsteed is sweet. I've been really happy with this card. I could pick the Game Trail in case I were to splash for red, but I think this is just better. It's also something you can, you know, if you happen to put that in your graveyard with Vessel or Concoction, it's pretty nice. It's a very solid 5-drop. Yeah, I think I like that more than the potential to splash for red. Crows is sweet. Ooh, there's also a Giza's Binding, which is great. It's quite amazing with Sinister Concoction. I don't have that many discard effects. It's pretty good with Call of the Bloodline. Other than that, I think it's still better than Crow or Ghoul Color Apple. I mean, Accomplice is fine, but I have a bunch of 2-drops, so I don't think I really need that too much. Crow would be solid though. Crow is very solid in the Delirium deck. I think it's still worse than a Giza's Binding though. Bidding, not sure how you should pronounce that. Stallion, if you have the Delirium, is good. Like, it's really solid, and I think this deck will have Delirium really easily. So I'm quite happy to pick that. And yeah, that looks like a fairly solid start for a Delirium deck. I guess I could pick Mutation, not too high on that, but at worst it's gonna be a very solid sideboard option against aggressive decks. I'm not sure that I want to play Cole, but since I got the Binding, it kinda got better. So there is that. Binding is also pretty good because I kinda need some sorceries and instant, because currently I only have artifact creatures and enchantment for the Delirium, so I need to I definitely need to add some instant and sorceries to the deck to make Delirium more, better. Merciless Resolve. Don't think I want to play that. I think I'll go with the Resolve. I don't think I will play it. Will I? Do I have anything good to sacrifice? Doesn't look like. I'd rather play Grotesque Mutation, I think. I will leave all of these in the sideboard for now, though. Alright. Well, as I mentioned, I could use a bit more instant removal. Instant speed removal would be great, and instant and sorceries would be great to help the Delirium. Then some more Delirium card would be good, but I kind of like the shape of that deck. The curve is quite low, which is quite nice. And there are some synergies. Sanitarium Skeleton would be great. It's amazing with Call of the Bloodline, pretty good with Ghoulsteed. In general, that card quite nice with Concoction too. Decent if you can discard it off the Vessel, so that card would be great. If you wonder what I'm talking about, it's a 1/2 for 1, and you can pay 3 and put it back in your hand if it's in the graveyard. Very solid card. I thought it was kind of medium, but the more I've played with it and the more I've seen people play with it, the more it seemed like really good. I will have Delirium very often, but I still don't think that card is great. I kind of like Sage of the Ancient Lore. Some people don't like this card too much because they say, well, it's quite late in the game, so even if you draw a card, this is gonna be small. But honestly, if I just have a 2/2 or a 3/3 that can grow bigger and draw me a card for 5, I'm happy. That being said, Duskwatch Recruiter is very strong, and Necropod is actually pretty good, but I think those green cards are just better option than either Necropod or Throttle. Throttle will be good though, because it's instant speed and for the Delirium and removal, so I would definitely use 1 or 2 Throttle in my deck. Which one is better? Honestly, this might be slightly better, but looking at my curve and also given the fact that this is early on the set, so I kind of want to try out rare more than common or uncommon, I think I'll go with the Sage. But Recruiter might just be better. I would not be surprised if it was the case. Elwyn, whatever is this place, Mysteries is amazing. This is the card I've lost the more to since I've started, and I think I've played maybe 50 games of Shadows over Innistrad so far, and I've lost 90% of the game where I played against that. It is just incredibly powerful and hard to win once it's working, and I think I will go with that. Bound is amazing, probably one of the best uncommon. Not really in white though. Solitary Hunter would be a fine addition. Another Vessel would be fine, but I think like this card has impressed me so much that I think I will go with it. Even if you don't have any like clue synergy, that card is just good on its own. You just need creatures to make it good. And we got past an Ever After. That's sweet. That card is like really solid. Pretty good if you are milling yourself too with things like Sinister Concoction and Vessel, so definitely happy to pick that. And now I would need some more creatures because of the mysteries and also the Ever After, but other than that I kind of like what I have. Unfortunately, this pack does not have anything for us. The best card is probably Explorers, which is pretty good. Definitely don't... Yeah, I think I would play Grotesque Mutation over Aim High in most matchup. So I think I'll cut that. Ooh, Gloom is sweet. Definitely one good reason to be black-green Delirium. And it's an enchantment, but it's a creature. So that's good. Pretty good for the mysteries. That's annoying because last pack had nothing for us, and this pack has Gloom, Courier, Scavenger, and Witch that we would probably play. I think I'll go with Gloom. Ooh, Graph Mole is solid. Graph Mole is amazing. I'm surprised to see that going that late. It's an amazing card. And the only game, one of the only game that I played and I really felt unwinnable, despite me doing a lot of good things, is when my opponent played Graph Mole alongside Mysteries. This is just too much. You cannot possibly kill your opponent through that, and they will bury you in card advantage. Ooh, there's a Skeleton that I was talking about before. And a very late Dance with the Devils. Pretty weird. That card is like straight up good. Skeleton looks good with what I have, so though. So I think I'll go with that. Yup. Sweet. Deck is looking really sweet. I'm not sure how good Call of the Bloodline is gonna be though. Again, it's nice with the Skeleton. It's a sweet 2-combo card. Quite costly though. And Call is pretty good with Beating. Is it Beating? Or yeah, I think it's Beating. Let me know. Ooh, Courier, that's great. Very solid creature. Awesome with the Mole. Definitely picking that. At this point, I think I have enough artifact that I can afford cutting the Witch. Shard is nice to fill your graveyard, but I don't think I need that. I have enough playballs. I will not splash anything. I think I'm just cutting Gone Missing. Alright, so I think I want to cut... I want to keep all of my 4, 5, and 6 drop. So I need to cut 2 things that are probably 1 2 drop and 1 3 drop. So Sensor, I am currently playing 2 humans, I think. 3 human. And I'm playing 15 creature. I guess 16 if you count the Gloom. Actually, even 17 if you count the Binding. I don't really want to play Weirding Wood though. I don't need the mana fixing, so I don't think I want that. So it's pretty easy cut. I think the thing I should cut are either the Sensor or the Call of the Bloodline. Ooh, we got another Vessel. I will play that. I will definitely play that. Sweet. That sounds like a very sweet Delirium deck. I can pretty much, not often, but I could easily attack for this on turn 3 and have Delirium. I think I'll go with Landscape here. Yeah, that seems fine, even though I'm not splashing anything. It's another way to help you with Delirium, putting a land in the graveyard. So, I need to cut 2 cards now. That card has been good though. And Ever After is also a creature to some extent. So it's almost like I'm playing 18 creatures, which makes equipment quite decent. Definitely unsure about what I should cut. Maybe Call of the Bloodline. Like that thing is good with Skeleton and Beating, but other than that, sounds pretty weak. I cannot think of many creatures that I would be happy putting in my graveyard. Or a creature with mana, so I think I'll cut that. And now I need to cut 1. Maybe I can I afford to play 16 lands? Probably not. My curve is not too high, but I have 1 6 drop and 2 5 drop, so... And I have a bit of card advantage, so I don't really need to... You know, if I eat too many lands, it's not gonna be the end of the world either. Bloodsworn does not synergize with anything in deck. It's pretty much just a 2-1 flyer, which is not bad, but not amazing. I could cut a Vessel, but that card seems so solid in my deck at enabling my Delirium things. Skeleton, if I'm not playing the Call of the Bloodline, is worst. I guess it's kinda decent with Vessel or Sinister Concoction if you put it in the graveyard. It's very annoying if you have the Mysteries, because you can just get it back infinitely and get a clue and a soldier each time. Is it better than a 2-1 flying? Maybe not. Probably not. Yeah, I think I'll cut the Skeletons. That card, again, as I mentioned, has impressed me, and I think it's quite good, but I don't think I have enough synergies to really make it work that well. And it costs quite a bit of mana, and I have some ways to use my mana, I think. Between my more costier spell, my Gargoyle that I can transform, my Mysteries and Clues that I want to crack, so I think I'll go with that. And my mana, we have a bit more green but some double black spells, so it's probably gonna be even. I think I need more black than green actually, given the Beating and the Ever After. I guess green lets me fetch for other thing with the Vessel though. But 7 green is maybe not enough if I want to reliably cast my Vessel and my 2 drops early on. Also, my black cards are things that I can cast later on the game. Yeah, I think it's right to play 8 for S7 Swamp actually. So that's gonna be the deck. I think it's quite good. I guess we'll see. I hope you enjoyed the draft. If you did, feel free to leave a like or subscribe. It's really appreciated. And I see you guys for round 1.